Hi everybody, welcome to Serenity Cards and Coaching. My name is Leela Meinke. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me at leelameinke.com. And I'm about to show you the August Simply Stamping Kit, and I love, love, love this kit. So we're gonna have 7 cards and a caddy, a card caddy. And so I'm going to be showing you, and we've only got an hour, so I'm not going to show you every single step along the way, but I'll show you. This is either for people who have the kit and you can refer to it and learn like kind of the areas for what the gotchas are. It's for avid stampers who want to learn just a little bit more. Any stamper who wants to learn just a little bit more, and it's for avid stampers. If you want to grab the measurements pretty quickly, you can. I also have the PDF available if you want just the PDF. Of course, my team gets all the PDFs for free. So these are the 7 cards, and it's using the Masterfully Made suite, which I love so much, and it's got some really amazing sentiments. So let's go ahead and get started. And we are going to get started with the caddy. So I'm going to show you the card caddy first, again, just so you can have a gander at it. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you. Now, when you get my kit, and the back would be decorated too. So when you get my kit, I already do the cutting and the scoring for you. When you get my PDF, I specify exactly what those measurements are, but I'll go over it here too. Now, this particular caddy takes 2 pieces of cardstock, whatever color you're going to do it in. It takes 2 pieces of the same color of cardstock. In this particular case, it's Melon Mambo, and you can take a little snapshot of that pretty quickly, and I'll talk you through it as well. So basically, you're going to have a piece of cardstock that's 6.5 by 11. So you're going to just take your normal cardstock, you're going to cut 2 inches off of it. You'll have 6.5 by 11. On the short side, you're going to score it at 1 inch on the left, and then you're going to have another inch on the right. And so whatever that math, I guess that would be 5.5. So you're going to have a 1 inch border on each side. Then you're going to turn it, and on the long side, you're going to score it 3 inches all the way down, 4 inches all the way down. And then here at 7 inches, you're just going to go from the edge to the score line, and then on the other side from the edge to the score line. And that's really just to tell you where to cut. So I will take you through this. Again, if you get the kit from me, I will already have done this cutting for you. And if you get the PDF, it specifies it. Oh my gosh, look, I've been decluttering, and this picture just fell. That was me and Bob getting married. Anyway, that was many moons ago. I have no idea. Things are popping up everywhere. So that was just a funny little thing, but it just fell there. And I'm like, oh, I think I want to like tape it up or put it in a little frame in here or something. But anyway, so now I've got all my score lines, and I'm going to make some tabs. And you're going to do the same, by the way, on both pieces. I'm just taking you through one side. So I'm making this a little tab right here. And then I'm actually cutting away this piece right here. By the way, I've already decided I'm going to include this in my 12 Weeks of Christmas series as well. And so when I do it for my 12 Weeks of Christmas series, I will actually go a lot slower. So if you want to get on my email list, if you're not on it, at leelameinke.com and subscribe, you will see my 12-week series, and I will definitely go through just this and a decoration for it slower, but not in this color. We're going to use new Christmas stuff. All right, so now that we've got our front and our back basically cut, you guys know me. If you've ever seen anything I ever do, I burnish, and I really do it on all the sides. So I make sure that it's good and burnished everywhere. I've actually already done this one, so I'll come in and do this one, and then I'll show you how we're going to assemble it. Now, it's a funny thing stamping because we have so many adhesives, and it's like, really, do we really need so many adhesives? Yes, we do. In this particular case, I'm going to use tear and tape, and I'm going to use glue. Tear and tape is very, very secure. I'm actually finding that I like to just come in with a little bit of glue to really just get a very, very good bond as well. So I'm going to use both. What I like about tear and tape is it's very secure and I can be very precise on first placement with it. So I've got my two. Oh, let me score one more here and one more here and give it a good burnish. Okay, so I've got my two sides now. So I'm going to go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble the box itself. And the way I'm going to assemble the box itself is I'm going to fold all these things in. And what it's going to look like is I want my tabs here. So I'm going to, and this will be on YouTube, so you can replay it if you want. If you take the class in person, I'll go over it with you. But basically, the two tabs are going to go on the inside. So that's the very first inside. Then the longer ones attached to the base are going to go on the outside. And then the front ones are going to go all the way on the outside. And who knows why I'm doing it in that order? Why do I have these showing on the very, very outside? Do you guys want me to show you why? I'll show you why. I'm not hearing any answer. I'm going to do it the other way.
To unmute.
Oh, go ahead.
Because it's is it because then you don't see any lines?
You don't see the seam right there, right?
Seams, that's
now,
the word.
Is it going to, thank you. Yeah. Now we're going to cover it up anyway, so it wouldn't be too horribly horrible, but it's just a good practice to get into anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make my little box right there. So I'm going to use my tear and tape, and in fact it tears. Sometimes I actually really want to use a good pair of scissors with it. And I now have like a couple pair of scissors because I don't like to get my good scissors all gummed up. So for this case, I'm just going to use the tear and tape like that. And the tear and tape like that. Oh my gosh, I bought new little garbage cans. I'm just, you guys, I'm over the moon. I've been decluttering and organizing. So what did I do? I went to this store called Recreate yesterday, which is in the Roseville area. And I guess they take your stuff and then they resell it. And so, of course, I looked through the store to see, well, what do they have here? Luckily, I got out for less than $10, but I bought a couple garbage cans, which I needed anyway, like desktop garbage cans. So it just feels so good. I've been decluttering and organizing, and I just can't say enough good things about doing all that. So, all right, so here I've gone ahead and I've done my tear and tape there. And this is the case where I'm going to use a little bit of glue as well. I would not use like just plain snail or just plain seal. But if you had Seal Plus, that would be all right. And sometimes I go over the tear and tape with the glue. It's fine. Sometimes I put glue, like if I'm using a dimensional, I'll do that too. But anyway, you're going to do that to both sides. And then I'm going to come in and give it a good burnish. Get it good and burnished. And there we go. So that's one. I'll quickly make the other one. We did this at the retreat. We had a retreat. We had our first annual Serenity retreat in Oklahoma, and oh my goodness, I'm so grateful. We made a lot of really fun things and made some good memories and had some good connections and met each other for the first time. In many cases, many of us didn't know each other, and this was our Sunday. It didn't know each other in person, I should say. This was our Sunday project. And it was just really fun. Sunday was a little bit slower, a little bit of a catch-up day, a little bit of, we made this and then put a cute card inside of it. We did it with the, crafting stamp set, if you know that. And then we did it with Countryside Inn, which is really, really, really pretty, all the blues. All right. So I've got both of those, and I've just done that really quickly. But now I want to demonstrate putting the two together. So now I've got my two. They're identical. They're exactly identical. There's just nothing you need to know about picking a favorite front or back or whatever. So they're identical, and I'm kind of just truing it up everywhere just to make sure that they do fit everywhere, and I'm kind of holding it up there. Now, here's a secret that I just learned. I bought a PDF from someone actually to learn how to make this, and so I just learned a secret from her. Well, actually, I don't even know if it was her. I watch so many videos. So I watched a video from someone recently showing the tip that I'm about to show you. So I'm getting the tear and tape along the border of one of the caddies. And here's a great reason for having tear and tape. It's really allowing me to get very, very far to the edge, which I want to. If it was me or alone, I might make it a point to even get a little bit closer to the edge if I wasn't in such a hurry. Not a hurry, but you know, if I was here alone, I would really just kind of sit next to the edge and really just line it up nicely and kind of take my time. Honestly, that's the Serenity, and the Serenity cards and coaching is like, let me just go slow and let's make it peaceful. But we're going to be a little more efficient. So here we are. I'm just making sure I have a good, now this is a caddy that's going to be carried around, or it's going to be, I thought it might be cute, like in some cellophane, like take some cellophane. So here's the part that I'm going to show you. I'm going to take off the inside pieces because, oh, you know what? Okay, I just thought about it. Don't do inside pieces. I know that I just did, but it's going to ruin the thing that I'm just telling you. Don't do inside pieces. We're just going to do glue on the inside. Don't do the inside piece because it's gonna take away from the effect that I'm showing you. The reason that I'm taking the tear and tape and folding it like this is because we can get very, very precisely lined up, and then we can pull. So you know what? I am going to cover those up. It's going to ruin it otherwise. It'll get attached, and then where will we be? And it won't matter because it's going to be in the middle anyway. So do what I say, don't do what I do. You don't want those. But we will put some adhesive in the middle. You know what? I've just decided I'm at peace when I make my little mistakes. You guys are learning like what not to do, and I'm okay teaching that too. So I've got these all folded off to the side. And now I'm gonna come and line this up. And I really want these like poking out. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna try to do it where I'm on camera, but I can also see. So I'm gonna line up the edge of the base there, and I'm not really pushing it down all the way. And then I'm holding all along the top so that I can feel that I'm like, I'm doing it by feel more than look, I guess. And I'm really just pressing because there's only adhesive right here right now, and right here, and right here, and right here. So now I'm going to take a look and say, okay, do I feel like I've got a good handle, like it's lined up perfectly? And honestly, if I was alone, I might put it down a little bit more. So what this is allowing me to do is I could lift it up and move it if I wanted to. But once I have it exactly where I want it, then and only then can I pull this and seal it. So that's a really cool trick if you've never done it before. I've been using tear and tape for years, and I just learned that one. So now I know that it's sealed right there and I like it. Now I'm going to pull it. So what that's doing is, because since it's two-sided, it's lifting up the rest of the tear and tape, and it's allowing me to seal it. And then
That's really cool.
I thought so too.
You.
I thought so too. You guys, I watch lots of videos. I wish I could remember who I saw that from, but it was a very awesome thing to know. And then I did put some glue in the middle, so I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that I've got it secure in there too. But that's it, you guys. That's your caddy.
Super
It wasn't that hard to do. Took a little bit of time. And then there's a couple more steps we're going to do with it. So I've got a punch You can take any punch. This just happened to be the punch that I have. This is an old one. And I think it's 1 3/4. I think we've got a couple different sizes right now. I think we've got a 2-inch and maybe a little bit bigger. So this just happened to be the one that I had. And I'm hoping that I'm strong enough to punch through it here, because it's going through 2 pieces of cardstock right now. And then of course I shouldn't have, but I put the tear and tape in the middle. So you're going to want to punch it. And you guys, I think even if I'm trying to think, like in your kit, should I do this for you or not? You know what? I'm going to have to.
I think
I'm sorry.
that's
I'm gonna
why
have
they
to do it all.
replaced that style of punch, huh?
What?
I think that's why they replaced that style of punch, huh?
Yeah. And you guys, how I'm doing it now is I'm coming in and I'm doing it like this. And I'm doing it just right under me so that I'm not trying to do it upside down across a room. So anyway, I got it now. So great. So, so you guys, if you need me to punch yours for you, let me know. What I'm a little bit worried about is if I do that, before you've assembled it all, you're really going to have to line it up just exactly so. So I guess if you need help with punching, I'm not going to do it. Maybe bring in reinforcements, or let me know if you really need me to do it for you ahead. I don't mind, but by default, I'm not going to. So here's a touch that I added, just a nice little extra touch. This wasn't in the PDF that that I purchased, but I thought I like a nice lining. I just do. I like things to be lined everywhere. So I now the way you can get a lining like that is I punched a circle and then I punched a circle within a circle, and I eyeballed it, so it might be a little bit off. But anyway, there you go. So now you've got a nice lined caddy. And then I'll just show you one more thing we're going to do. A couple more things. So, I mean, I love this white ribbon. I don't know if you know this white ribbon. Do I have it right here? I don't have it right here. I had it right here. Oh yeah, here it is. I love this large white ribbon. And what do you do with large white ribbon, right? Like, we've tried putting it on some cards, but it really kind of serves like a cardstock layer, really. It's a little bit large to actually put on a card. And so, but this is a great use of it to just take it and make just a beautiful bow. And so you'll get a nice amount of it. Fresh, clean roll. So as I make up the kits, you'll get a nice amount of it. And you can make just a really beautiful bow with it. So there's that guy. Now I'll tell you, I've had a chance to see what's coming for Christmas in the mini catalog, which goes live to customers the beginning of September. And my order's coming today. Like when I'm done, I'm able to like walk out there and have a box. I'm hopeful it's out for delivery. But anyway, there's some beautiful white ribbon coming that's not as big, and it's nice for cards. And there's of course a little bit of bling, because we like bling. Well, we like bling anytime, but we like bling at Christmas. So I'm really excited. And if you want to see it yourself, you can sign up for bingo. I have bingo September 2nd, and it's basically a try it class where you get to get a little bit of much of the goodness that's coming out. Some of the consumables, you'll get some of the different designer series papers and ribbons, etc. So now the final thing we're going to do is you'll get 4 sheets of designer series paper cut to size, 4 pieces. So the front is going to be like this, and I don't have exactly the measurement, but it's basically this measure and then 1 inch on the side. Same thing, we're scoring it here and wrapping it around. We're going to put one on the front. We're going to put one on the back. And then we're going to put a couple seams on the side to cover it up. And it's basically going to look like it wraps all the way around without it having to wrap all the way around. So you're going to get those pieces. You can go ahead and adhere that. I'm not going to do that now, but I'll take you through the designing of this wheat tag. So any questions on the caddy before I go? I know it went pretty quickly, when you get the PDF, you can see the details. When you get the kit, you can see the details. But any questions on that before I show you the decorating of the tag?
So cute, really
Looks great.
cute. To make a
So-
great gift.
Oh, right, Doris, in a cellophane, right? So put some cards in it, put some
Yeah.
envelopes, put it in like a cellophane,
Yeah,
tie it at the top. It would really make a stunning gift. Yeah,
It would.
thank you for that. Very nice. Yeah, yeah. Very nice. Which I intend to do, which is why it's part of the 12 weeks of Christmas, because it would make a great gift. All right, so what I want to show you is how to make this flower. So you're going to get this tag. You can stamp it in Melon Mambo. You're going to get a bow. You're going to get these little hearts. So you get all the die cuts. My kits always have those. And then what I really want to show you is this paper florist. Now this is a die set that it's not in a suite. It's just dies. And there's a lot of them. Let's see if I can find it quickly. I didn't think to do that, but
It's on page 165.
Thank you very much. So here is the paper florist dies. We are only going to play with 3 pieces. We're going to play with that guy and those leaves. But look how many there are. I mean, there's so many different, you can do so many different things. I mean, just a little peek of what you can do with it. Truly, well, some of these are the daisies too, but you can make like that internal little shape, that internal little shape. So we're just getting the tip of the iceberg with it. These little guys, I'm actually throwing some of these guys in there for you, the little pink ones, so you can get a little taste of it. But let me just show you, this particular one is super simple, Simon. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the middle. These are the larger of the 2. So I'm putting a little bit of glue in the middle, and you could use a mini glue dot. You could use whatever adhesive, but that's what I did. And then I'm gonna just pop it up a little. Now these ones are easier to shape. I think some of the other ones that we saw, like you come in with your bone folder, and I mean, I can do it here, but you come in with your bone folder and you really start to curl it, and you really start to try to give it some shape. So you are going to see more of these. I am so excited about this. I can't wait to play with these. But today we're just introducing it and getting a little taste of it. So that's that guy. And then you put a little gem in the middle, and then I'm going to snip off the leaf. So that's Melon Mambo, and then I think Berry Burst leaf. We're just going to put a little bit right there and pop it on. And super simple, Simon, just with one roll of the die and with just a couple little pieces of glue, little embellishment in the middle, you've got a super cute decoration. And so you're going to get these gems, and you're going to get everything you need right there. I think I made that guy a little bit smaller now that I realize it, but it's fine. You're going to get everything you need right there, and you can just go ahead and kind of create your own little assembly right there. So super cute. All right, so that was the caddy. Now I'm going to move on.
What was that wishing you everything wonderful stamp set's name?
Yeah, so I will show you the stamps I'm using today. Charming Sentiments.
Yeah, I like that.
Charming Sentiments really has charming sentiment. So it has wishing you everything wonderful. Now let's look, because I already cut all the little, I already did all the die cutting. So, oh, perfect. It still fits on the little bit smaller tag there too. So very good. But if you didn't have that, I mean, the beauty of my kits, my intention is use what you have, or if you're really quite smitten, then get something new. And you wouldn't want to get these sentiments. They've got Everything Will Be Okay, Faith Over Fear. We're going to use that one too. I mean, this is just a great stamp set just for you. I love this just for you. I mean, that's a good stamp set. So we're using that one. In case I don't get to it, the other ones that I'm using are Layering Leaves. Gorgeously Made is actually what comes with, is intended to partner with the Master Flea Made Suite, which is the paper that we're looking at. And then Growth Takes Time is another stamp set that I'm just really quite smitten with. And we're going to do this one next, actually. Growth Takes Time. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we've got 7 cards. Some of them are duplicates. I'm going to only show you some tips on each of them. So you guys know how to glue it inside. You know how to put little adhesives. So I will show you a little bit. We're actually going to emboss. This is something I went to San Diego, and I went to a place way back in the day when stamping was everywhere. They had a place called Stamp Diego. And so I went to Stamp Diego and I embossed a rose, and I fell in love like from day one. So I'm going to show you guys embossing, because if you've never seen it, it's really pretty amazing. So that's what I'm going to show you on this card, and I'll show you a couple other things. I will cut the card base for you in the kit, and I'll show you the tip for cutting this a little bit later. This is basically 5.5 long, and then instead of being like the 8.5 scored at 4 1/4, it's scored at 4 1/4 with just a tiny little like 1/2 inch lip right there. And then you would adhere this to the front, and then you would adhere that over it. And the PDF will give you all those instructions, but you're basically making like a little book, and then you would put your basic white inside. So that's that guy. I'll show it to you again here, and then I'll show you how to emboss. So you put your basic white inside, you put this guy next, and you just kind of glue it so that you've got a nice, it goes all the way to the edge on the right and the top and the bottom. And then you just, like, that might be a good candidate for tear and tape right there to just adhere it. But then it's going to be covered. You're going to cover it with this scrumptious gold specialty paper and tie a ribbon around the spine and tie a little bow. So that's going to be that guy. And I'll have pictures of that. But let's show you how to emboss this Growth Takes Time. So I've got a basic white circle, and basically if you've got circles, just take one. I mean, I'll give you these to you in your kit, but if you're doing this at home, you just need 2 shapes that are basically one a little bit bigger than the other. If you didn't have a circle, but if you had these dies instead, you could take the larger one and the smaller one and just have a little bit of a border. But I'm going to show you how to emboss. I'm going to show you with our embossing kit. Now, I thought we had extra. That's what the inventory report has been saying. But I went out to look for it and I didn't see it. So maybe it's got a different name. But if it's still out there, and you can ask me if it is, I'll look it up for you. There's a tray, there's a brush, there's these tweezers that are fantastic. I don't know if it comes with an embossing buddy. Actually, I do think it does, but in any event, you want an embossing buddy for sure. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy, and I'm just going to, it's like a talcum powder. I don't really know exactly what it is.
It does. I just remembered. It does.
It comes with it, or it's a talcum powder? I think it does too.
It comes with it. Yeah.
I think it does too. So then you get the tray, the tweezers, the brush, and the embossing buddy. And for sure, like if you're going to emboss, you need all of the above. And then we're going to use Versamark. We're going to use clear, and we are going to use Growth Takes Time. And I hope I have the right size circle. I do. So we are going to emboss. Now, how many here? Is there anybody here who has never embossed? Show of hands if you've never embossed yet. Okay, we have veterans. Well, then this will just be for people who might be at home who have never done it, or just a little refresher, or just a little fun thing to do. So I'm going to stamp it, and because this is red rubber, I'm not stamping on here because then it would be double the cushion and I would get all kinds of effects that I don't want. I don't even know if this is upside down or right side up, but I don't care because I'm embossing it. So there we go. All right, so growth takes time. Now I'm going to come over here and I've got my gold embossing powder. We sell 3 packs of embossing powder. And I don't like, I think one's gold and silver and I don't know. All the colors are good. Gold, silver, black, clear, white. They're all good. Copper. Okay, so I've got it. I did my Versamark to get it good and like a good pigment ink. And then I poured my gold folder on it. And then I'm just gonna kind of tap, tap, tap to get any excess. Another thing that's great is to use this little brush if there's any little powders I want to get out of there, but I'm not seeing too many. And then the benefit of having this tweezer, one benefit of having this tweezer is that I can hold it. And then when I do the heat embossing, I can hold it and not burn my fingers. So this is the only part. It's going to make a little bit of a noise. Oh my gosh, it's right here. I'm just so smitten with setting up just the place of my dreams. But anyway, I will go ahead and turn this on. I think it'll make a little bit of a noise. I'm sorry for that. All right. I don't know if you got to see the magic of it turning into just a nice, colorful, embossed thing, but it's a nice, colorful, embossed thing, and I love it. So there's that little sparkle. Super fun. And so you need a heat gun as well. That would be the final component. And then just go ahead. I just glued it. And then I glued it to the front of the card. And this is, by the way, a great stamp set. Some stamp sets emboss more nicely than others. This is just a nice, solid red rubber, good, like very thick words, not really, really thin. Like this might be harder. You can still do it, but it might be more difficult because it's a little bit thinner. But these just emboss really, really well. And so there's our growth takes time.
And I found it. I found the item number and the
You found the item number. Please tell. What is it?
Oh, I lied. I just found it on it's item number 159971.
159971.
And
so if it's
and it does include the embossing, buddy.
Alrighty, yeah. Doris remembered. Remembered.
It's there.
And it should anyway. It should have. So, and then we can add a few little sprinkles and a little bit of bling, and there we go. And in your kits, by the way, I am going to give you some extra dies. Oh my gosh, here's my another organization. I have someone helping me do die cuts, so this is heaven too. But I'm going to give some of these extra little flowers that I haven't really found a place for yet. And then like we use the big flowers, but not the little ones. So you're going to get some extra stuff, just little goodness that you can put on the flowers, different places. But anyway, that is our first card. Growth takes time, all kind of blinged up and super beautiful. Sweet. And the symbolism of the rose, like one reason I wanted to pick that is in one of my groups, we like to say like self-development is like the opening of the layers of an onion. And I personally think that sounds really smelly. So I like the opening of a rose. So growth takes time and like the opening of a rose. And then there's a E.E. Cummings poem. Oh gosh, it's so beautiful about roses, like slowly petal by petal. Anyway, it's so pretty. I'm not remembering it exactly. But so the next card we're gonna do. Oh, I know. No one, not even the rain, has such small hands. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. All right, the next card that I want to show you is this guy. And I I actually don't know. I mean, I will show you, but I don't know that I need to go through all the steps of it. So basically, you've got your card base. Put your sentiment in the upper right corner, nice and square, nice and centered, and just right in the upper right. This is a favorite go-to for me of a sketch. I just love this sketch. So you take your card base, you take a layer of cardstock, 2 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then you take a piece of designer series paper, 2 by 5 1/2. And then you could do one of two things. You could either put a little bow on it right there and put some gems just here and there and everywhere. Or actually, I gotta come in and emboss these. I forgot that. I added little touch of the new embossing folders trio. I did a nice little embossed textured background. So you can take this simple sketch, you can dress it up, you can step it down. I love texture. So I love Azure Afternoon. That's this blue, Azure Afternoon. And then it just really pulls the blue out of the paper. I love to do this when the paper on its own is just so gorgeous. Like, let the paper do the work. So give a sentiment, give a few accents, pull the color out of the paper, but really let the paper do the work. Like, this paper is so pretty. And so you can see you're going to get two completely different looks with two different sets of colors and two different sets of embellishments and even two different fonts and different sentiments. And so the other thing I like to do, so you can either put just a bow on it or you could wrap a ribbon and tie a bow. So of course, if you're going to wrap a ribbon and tie a bow, you're going to wrap it around here first and tie and get your bow just perfect and then adhere it. So that's the only difference between the two. Here, you're just going to adhere it. You're going to put your sentiment, put your gems, put your little bow. That's that. And then for this guy, I just wrapped it around, and I've done it both ways. Sometimes if I forget and I put the peacock down first and I forget, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it around the designer series paper. Or you could adhere those two together. Like, however, there's just like no wrong way to stamp, really. But and there's some little gems too. You're going to get those and lots of bling. This white organdy, you're not going to see it in the catalog, but it is still available while supplies last online. And it's pretty, although I think you're gonna like the white that comes out in the new mini. Okay, this next one, let's make this guy together. I'll show you a couple tips about this guy. And this designer series paper, you guys, is all the same pack. It's masterfully made, and I'm not kidding. I love it so much that I just wanted to show like every little side of it. So this is another sketch that's fantastic for showing both sides. I don't know if you are on my Facebook customer group page, but we've been doing a show both sides of the designer series paper challenge. I think that one just ended, but oh my gosh, we've seen some really fun techniques, and I put a video together showing exactly how to do these actually. So this again, I love texture, I love little touches, and so I rolled that through, well, my helper rolled that through an embossing folder, and then we just cut it into little strips. And I want to show you, actually I knew that I wanted to do that. I want to show you how did I get this cut, right? So let me show you that before I forget. I've got my trimmer here, and do I have a card base I can do this on? Well, all right, I'm just going to do it on one that's already done. So let's look at this side. So let's say this was a card and it was folded in half, and I wanted this to only be 1 inch. Let's say I want to cut it off so that I have a front like that. So there's all different ways you can do it. You can take your 8 1/2 and you can cut it and then come in and score it. But let's say you've got a card base, and then you come in and you say, you know what? No, I've got my card base, but I really want to do that technique. And this is 1 inch right here. So then I'm going to cut off like the 3 1/4 inches, right? So So this is how I did it. Now, using our trimmer, if I do it from the top and I want to line up against an inch, I'm going to like run into this right here and I'm not going to be able to see it. But if I do it on the bottom, if I take this corner, like pretend that's the score line, right? And let's say that's where I want to cut. If I do it along the bottom, I can come to the 1 inch mark and I can see it at the 1 inch mark right there. And then I'm going to cut right there and I'm going to leave an inch and I'm going to cut away the rest. So again, that would be if you have a full card and you want to trim away just this part, you can take the fold, line it up on an inch, trim it, and then you're going to get the carryover of like that little book binding inch. So I did that because I needed to find an easy way because I had a bunch of card fronts. And so I came up with that method. So now this is a case where you can adhere the designer series paper to the front, you can adhere it to the back, you can adhere it wherever. In this particular case, I've done a little smaller 3 3/4 by 5 basic white sheet. And then I've got my front right here and I've adhered it to the inside. And so basically, when it's open, I want it to look like that. So I'm lining it up first. And then I'm going to hold it in place. And then I could put just like a thin strip of adhesive. And I don't want to go outside of the lines. So I'm going to do like a thin strip right there so that I know it's secure at that end. And then I'm going to do a thin strip right here so I know it's secure at that end. But I'm not going like 1/4 of an inch beyond because then I would end up with a gluey mess. Then I'm going to fold it over and I'm going to make sure I still like how it's lined up, and I do. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish it. So that's a way to make sure you've got it lined up the way you want it and to make sure that it's secure. What we ended up with was a thin strip of glue right here and a thin strip of glue right here. And so it's nice and secure. And you saw that little bit of an amount I did, so it's not oozing out everywhere. Then I come in, I put my basic white in there, and then I take my Night of Navy ribbon and I tie a bow. And then you'll have these die cuts and just put whatever little sentiment you want in there. Night of Navy would be perfect. But honestly, if you don't have Night of Navy, you could use peacock, you could use azure, you could use black. Black's a great color. You could emboss like we just learned. So that's that guy. And then this one is the same, only different. And this is the one that was my intention. If you wanted to, you could take some of these little flowers. I mean, you're going to get extras, so put them wherever you want. But I thought they looked really cute attached to that guy right there. So my thought was, and I don't know how many you get. I think you get 3. You're going to get 3 little pink guys. You could put them right there, depending on which fraction of the designer series paper you got anyway, because there's that too. But super simple, Simon. This is Lost Lagoon. I cut it the same way. I did that kind of 1 inch. I left a 1 inch like book binding. I like things lined, so I put a nice little strip on the inside, and then I just adhered it to the front rather than underneath, and I put a Lost Lagoon bow. But here, and then I stamped right on it, the best is yet to come. I just picked all my favorite like sentiments for this kit, just kind of personal growth, optimistic, encouragement. I don't know, deep sentiments. I love the best is yet to come. And so that was done in
I forget, which stamp set is that from? Best is yet to
Best
come?
is yet to come is from the Dainty Daisies.
Hello. Yes.
Can you hear? Cindy, I heard you. Dainty Daisies.
Dainty Delights.
Yeah.
And it says that I don't have anything up there, right?
And the mute.
Linda, I'm gonna mute you, honey.
Dainty
It's
Delight.
from
yeah.
Dainty Delight. Thank you, Doris. The best is yet to come.
Okay, thank you.
To be honest with you, I bought this stamp set just for that sentiment.
Very
But
pretty.
of course, I love, and the dies are awesome. And I mean, everything's awesome, but the best is yet to come. That's just so many ways that that sentiment applies. So yeah, thank you for the question. Very good. So again, you could stamp this in Peacock if you had it. You could do it in black because I think all those text words are in black. Super simple, but lots of impact, lots of color. Again, this is the designer series paper just wowing us and doing the work. So that's that guy. And then the final card I want to show you type is this one. And we've seen this one before. Because the caddy is new, I wanted to like make the cards a little bit easier because I think the caddy, I mean, it's only intended to be a 2-hour class, and I think the caddy will take like 45 minutes or so. So I wanted to just have some like kind of go-to cards that would look beautiful, highlight the designer series paper, but maybe ones we might have done before or not. So I wrote down these dimensions, and of course I don't have them at my fingertips, so I'll just tell you. So this is a 5.5. It's 5.5 by 8.5. So it's our normal card base. However, we've scored it a little bit differently. And we've done this for Valentine's. We've done this for Thanksgiving. Now we're just going to do it with Be Gentle with Yourself. And so I think that this is 2 inches, 3 1/8. Let's just look at it. Again, yours come cut and scored. The PDF will spell it out. Yeah, so that's 2 inches, 3 1/8, 5 1/4, 6 1/2. And so basically, when I go to my scoring, I use my score board. I basically put the whole sheet in, and then I do 2, 3 1/8, 5 1/4, 6 1/2. And then I trim my cardstock in half. So then I'm getting 2 done at the same time. So, and then the DSP that goes inside is just a little subset of it, right? So you're going to do 5 1/4, and then I think 1 3/4, 1, 2. I don't know exactly, but you can figure it out from there. So I think that one's 2 inches. I think that one's 1 3/4 inches. And I think those might be 1 inch or 3/4. But oh my gosh, this is our berry burst. And I just love all of our papers, right? So I didn't yet trim these insides, but in your kit, you'll also get that little inside and you'll get a little back. Again, they're scored for you. And then what's great about this guy really is it's to highlight something narrow and prominent. And so here I chose to do the sentiment, be gentle with yourself. And then of course, supported by the designer series paper. And I thought it was perfect because it kind of covered up the blue, but it left enough of the blue there. And it also kind of highlighted the flowers, and it really brought out like the berry burst color. So, but I've seen this done with a pumpkin. I've seen this done with a Christmas tree. I'm going to be doing a vintage Santa soon. I don't know if he's too big for that or not, but it's really good if you just want to put one focal point on the front and really bring it to the attention, and then have a backdrop with it. And it's so impactful. I mean, people always love a fun fold. So this is a great
It
card.
stands.
Huh?
It stands then.
It stands.
Yeah.
Stands. It stands. It stands. So awesome. So very good. So when you get the kit, of course, it's cut and scored for you. And then just make sure you have, because these pieces are narrower, that one's the wider. And then I always like to make sure, like when I have designer series paper, like the tear lines are going up. So I like to make sure that I've got the tear lines going up, and then the flowers are on the bottom, the sky is on the top. So I'm a big one for like taking a look, is my designer series paper upside down or not? But I promise you, 99% of the people aren't even going to be looking at that. But if you want to like take it next level with yourself, that would be a little touch to look out for. But and then a little gem, and there's our organdy bow again. And so that was one of them. And then the other one, here's our best is yet to come again, and our organdy bow. And For the gems, I like 3s and 5s. So in this case, it's a 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like them to kind of be seen, but also a little bit hidden. And then this one might just have 3, I think. Yeah, this one just has the 3. 1, 2, 3. So I like odd numbers, but you can do you. So that's it. Holy cow, you guys, where are we? Yeah, that was an hour. I knew that was going to be a lot. So, you guys, we did it in an hour. We showed how to make 7 cards. This is kind of a super duper kit. I love this kit. I love this kit. I love this paper. I've been excited since the mini catalog. Since the annual catalog came out, I've been really excited to work with this paper, and now today's the day. And coming soon, I don't have it in here. Coming soon, we'll start working out of the mini catalog. But anyway, these are our cards for today. So I'm gonna go off spotlight. I'm gonna come back to you guys, and I'm going to stop recording, and I'll just come back to you guys.